It starts with one pair of sneakers, $200, but you don't really feel $200 leaving your account because the app says 4 easy payments of $50. That feels harmless. $50 doesn't sound dangerous, so you tap, buy now. A week later, you do it again. New headphones, another small payment, then clothes, then concert tickets, then something random at 2 in the morning because you had a stressful day. And suddenly, your bank account feels strange. Money keeps disappearing, but nothing feels expensive enough to blame. Until one morning, you open your banking app and realize you're juggling 8 different payment plans at the same time. Payments are hitting from everywhere. Your paycheck feels smaller before you even touch it. Stress builds, anxiety kicks in, and now you're asking yourself, how did spending become this invisible? That question is exactly what these systems are designed to do. Buy now, pay later sounds harmless, helpful even. No interest, small payments, instant approval, no pain. That's the appeal, and honestly, that's also the danger. Because buy now, pay later doesn't just change how people spend money, it changes how people feel about spending money. And that psychological shift is massive. Think about modern life right now. People are stressed, burned out, overworked, scrolling social media every day watching influencers live perfect lives. New clothes, new gadgets, perfect apartments, luxury vacations. And everywhere you look, there's pressure to keep up. So when an app says you don't have to pay all of it now, your brain relaxes. The purchase suddenly feels emotionally affordable, even if financially it isn't. And that's the hidden psychology almost nobody talks about. These apps are designed to reduce the pain of paying, because when spending feels painless, people spend more, way more. Let's break down the psychology. Normally, spending money hurts a little. Your brain feels the loss immediately. That pain creates friction, and friction slows people down. But buy now, pay later removes that friction. Instead of seeing $200, you see $50. Your brain focuses on the smaller number, not the total cost. And this changes behavior dramatically. Researchers call this the pain of paying. The more disconnected people feel from the full cost, the easier it becomes to overspend. That's why people spend differently with cash versus cards. And now, buy now, pay later takes that psychological distance even further, because the payment isn't just smaller, it's delayed. Future you handles the consequences, present you gets the dopamine, and your brain loves that trade. Here's the dangerous part. Your brain treats small payments almost like subscriptions, tiny, manageable, background noise. But when enough tiny payments stack together, they quietly become massive.
And most people never realize it until the stress arrives. Now, let's talk about dopamine, because this is where things become deeply emotional. Shopping is emotional. People don't just buy things, they buy feelings, relief, excitement, comfort, confidence, distraction. And buy now, pay later supercharges this behavior because it removes the emotional hesitation that usually stops people. Think about it. A stressed person sees something online, shoes, makeup, tech, clothes. Their brain says, "This will make me feel better." Normally, a large price tag creates resistance, but splitting the payment changes the emotional calculation. Suddenly, the purchase feels safe, small, easy. And that tiny emotional shift creates impulsive behavior. This is why many people use buy now, pay later late at night or during emotional moments. Stress spending, boredom spending, reward spending, dopamine spending. The scary part, most people think they're making rational decisions, but emotionally, their brain is chasing relief, not financial logic, and companies understand this extremely well. Now, add social media into the equation and everything gets amplified, because social media constantly creates desire. You scroll for 5 minutes and suddenly your life feels incomplete. Everyone looks richer, happier, more successful, and modern algorithms are designed to trigger emotional comparison. Now, combine that with instant financing, that's where the system becomes dangerous, because people are no longer just buying products, they're buying identity, status, validation, lifestyle. And buy now, pay later makes those lifestyles feel immediately accessible, even when financially they aren't sustainable. Here's the scary part. A person who would never spend $500 up front may easily accept 4 payments of $125. That's the psychological illusion. The total disappears emotionally, and when the total disappears, spending explodes. Now, here's the question most people ask. If these apps offer 0 interest, how do they make money? Simple, because people spend more, a lot more. Stores actually pay buy now, pay later companies fees. Why? Because these apps increase consumer spending dramatically. People buy more items, more expensive items, and shop more often. That's profitable. But here's where things get worse. Late fees, missed payments, overdraft charges, repeat borrowing behavior. That's where the hidden damage starts. And remember, many users are already financially stressed before using these apps. So when multiple payments hit unexpectedly, bank balances collapse fast. And now, overdraft fees appear. More stress, more anxiety, more financial chaos. But the brain still remembers the original dopamine hit, which creates a dangerous cycle. Temporary emotional relief followed by delayed financial pain, over and over and over again. Now here's the part almost nobody realizes is happening. Buy now, pay later changes your relationship with money itself, because spending stops feeling real. And when spending stops feeling real, control disappears. Think about older generations using cash. They physically watched money leave their hands. That created emotional awareness. Modern spending is different. Tap, swipe, click, split payment, done. The transaction becomes emotionally invisible, and invisible spending is dangerous spending. Now here's a shocking example. Some people now use buy now, pay later for groceries, food, everyday essentials, not luxury purchases, survival purchases. Think about what that means psychologically. People are financing basic living. And once debt becomes normalized for everyday life, the line between need and want starts disappearing. That's where people lose control. Not because they're stupid, because the system reduces emotional resistance at every step. Now let's talk about micro-debt, because this is one of the biggest hidden dangers. 1 payment feels manageable. 2 payments feel manageable. 5 payments still feel manageable. But eventually, your brain becomes overloaded. Due dates everywhere, notifications everywhere, small amounts constantly leaving your account. Mental stress builds quietly. And here's the psychological problem. Small debts often feel less urgent than large debts, which makes people ignore them, until suddenly everything stacks together. This is how people end up financially overwhelmed without realizing how they got there, not through one massive decision, but through hundreds of emotionally painless small ones. That's the trap. Here's the truth. Buy now, pay later is not evil, but it is psychological, very psychological. These systems are designed to make spending feel smaller, softer, easier, less painful. Because when pain disappears, consumption grows. And the real danger is not just debt, it's unconscious spending. Spending without emotional awareness, spending without friction, spending that feels invisible until financial stress arrives.
So if you use buy now, pay later, pause before every purchase. Ask yourself, would I still buy this if I had to pay the full amount today? That one question changes everything, because financial freedom is not just about income, it's about awareness. And once you understand how your brain reacts to spending, you stop becoming easy to manipulate. So if this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. Buy now, pay later made me rethink spending, because the moment spending stops feeling real is the moment people quietly lose control.